Say that again. I have no progress on the elephant yet, but I'm still waiting on that.
How's the scrimmage?
The scrims was good. I think I feel like the team got some good quality reps as far as everybody just kind of learning themselves and kind of seeing how they fit in on the defense or on the offense or on the team overall. Say that again. It really was kind of even. It's kind of hard to kind of see how good your defense is or how good your offense is because if the offense scores and you're like, well, we got a good offense, but if the defense stops something, it's like, do you got a good defense? So it's kind of hard to see.
Where were you playing mostly?
I was playing mostly inside this scrimmage.
How much time you get to see on the outside?
If anything, most of the time I see a lot of time after the first and second down, and they use me on third downs just to kind of rush. And whenever I get tired, I'll kind of bring somebody else in.
Because obviously you got a versatile role in the defense, but how much do you think your versatility, especially moving inside and out,
Mm.
will be a benefit this year for that defense?
I feel like it kind of give us, like you said, some more versatility, being able to come from inside to outside and kind of help the pass rushers out as much as I can and kind of get some pressure on the quarterback. I think that's the number one thing. If you can do those things like that, you can, pretty much, stop some pretty good offenses.
You said the other day, sacks aren't really as important as affecting the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
As a player, do you kind of, you have the same mindset, or do you want to get that sack?
No, I feel the same way. Anytime you could put any type of pressure on the quarterback, it affects him over time in the game. So I feel like if I can just get either a hand on him or get a hand in his face, just to try to rattle him a little bit, I feel like that'll help. Who are the alpha dogs? Shoot, might as well say the whole defense. I mean, we got guys that can play anywhere in the nation. We got great athletes, great leaders, and I mean, just with that, it lets you know what type of guys we got on our team.
You mentioned yourself, Duran, Minka, as guys he kind of wants to see become those guys, those alphas in
Hmm.
the team. Has he relayed that information to you? Do you kind of have you ever talked with him?
Absolutely. Just being like you said, kind of stepping up in my role, me being more of an older guy. I feel like now my position is to kind of just make everybody else better around me. Just to kind of get, especially with the freshmen, helping them learn the standard that we have around here, the way we practice, how we carry ourselves, and the little things like that. I feel like that's kind of my role now. Hmm. From Chris, I've seen major improvements. Like I said, just coming from high school into college and coming to the University of Alabama, it's a little difficult trying to transition yourself to being the best player you can be because you got a lot of guys that are just as good as you. So Chris has done an amazing job. He's been helping us on pass rushing and all those little things, and I feel like later on down the line in his career, he's gonna be a great player. Really just take coaching. I feel like that's the number one thing about him. He knows how to take coaching.
What do you see from the running game, right? Missing two backs.
From the running game, to be honest with you, we got so much depth at running back. We really don't miss a step. We got a lot of guys that understand their role and they're gonna do whatever they can to help the team.
How about Brian in particular? How much progress has he made maybe
Mhm.
from the start?
Oh, he's made great progress. Brian, like I said, he's one of those guys that just does his part. Whenever they call his name, he produces.
You mentioned picking a rest when you need one. Are we going to see a little bit more of a rotation at linebacker, more guys getting involved this year?
I would think so. I mean, just to kind of get new faces in there to help us as a defense is always a good thing. So, whoever is in there, I feel like we got the type of team that can, kind of got newer faces out there just to kind of make us a better defense overall.
What are your early impressions from film you've seen at Florida State?
Like I said, they're a versatile team. I mean, they got athletes all across the board. I've been hearing a lot of things with the fact that they're trying to be more of a dominant team as far as them, competing with people like us, the SEC. So I see those little things. I've seen the offense more often. I mean, because we started to prepare more with, facing them in 2 weeks. But they got guys like great wide receivers, great running backs. The quarterback, I mean, he's had a year up on his belt, so he's got a little experience. And just with that, I feel like we're gonna have a great battle, coming up. I mean, just the fact that, we played with great teams. We played against teams like Clemson, and they kind of remind me of them. They got great athletes, a great quarterback, and I feel like if we prepare the right way, we, the game would be pretty good.
How did you see Francois develop, from early on last year, kind of like Jalen, young guy coming in to the end of the season? Where did you see him kind of pick up his game?
Just like I said, keeping his poise. I feel like both of those type of those guys, Jalen and Francois, they have great poise. I feel like that's the number one reason why they were able to play at such a young age. That's the number one thing I would say. And just with both of those guys, they have the ability to escape, using their feet. And whenever they need to throw, they can make the throws as well. So I see both of those things kind of being the same with those two.
There's been talk about Florida State's offensive line being a weakness. How do you guys see that? Do you think that's an area you can exploit?
Wait, say that again?
There's been talks about Florida State's offensive line being a weakness. Do you think it's an area that you can exploit during the game?
I don't really think that weakness. I think that you should never underestimate your opponent. A lot of times they'll probably say that just to kind of get you off your game. I treat any opponent the same, regardless of what the division is. We could be playing a high school team, and I prepare for them just like I prepare for Clemson. So, to be honest with you, I'm excited for this game. I mean, it's gonna be a great game. I know they got athletes. I mean, because obviously they're ranked pretty high, on the polls. So, yeah. Say that again. I didn't. What'd you say? I kind of glimpsed at it a little bit. Yeah, I saw some of the teams on there, and looks pretty good to me. Yeah.
Talk about as a pass rusher. When you're going up against a running quarterback like Jalen or Francois, is that something where you have to stick to your lane? You can't over pursue. You can't allow him to kind of step up in the pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta respect quarterbacks like that. You can't allow yourself to kind of get too wild, especially with your pass rusher, because a lot of guys want to beat the tackle so much and try to get a sack that, sometimes they catch themselves out of position because they don't understand that quarterbacks like that, they have the ability to escape even tackles that you try to do on them. So with those guys, all you can really do is just get as much pressure as possible. A lot of guys, I feel like, like I said, they just try to sack them so much, like it kind of messes up everything. So I think for us, the number one thing is just to get pressure on them, and if we can get the sack, we can get the sack. Overall, we're just trying to get as much pressure on him as possible.
Is that something that has changed this year? Last year we talked with Tim and Ryan, and they were always talking about racing as a race to get to the quarterback for that sack. Is that something that kind of changed this year?
No, I feel like it's the same, but I feel like now is more of basically just trying to do the little things. I feel like the sacks are going to come regardless. You're going to get sacks, just by just rushing and having attempts at it. But I feel like if you just at least just try to get pressure on him, those things will add up where when you do get a sack, it'll be a clean sack. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I kind of feel.